Oops. Welcome to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast, episode 97. You can find us at www.liftheavyrunlong.com, on Twitter and Instagram at liftrunlong. Also, feel free to email me directly at the address wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you are not a member of our private Facebook group, you should be, because we want you to be there. Search for Lift Heavy Run Long Community and request to join right now. The LHRL podcast is censored. So if you are traveling with your family or watching at home on Facebook, we're not going to use any foul language because it's live. And if you're watching at home with your family live, I don't have any way of censoring it. Y'all understand that?
Good luck with that.
Can y'all do that?
What the?
So we're going to keep it clean and family friendly as much as possible.
What's it be saying?
What does it say?
No video.
No video.
We have technical difficulties coming on where Wilson's working on the Facebook live feed.
If you can hear us,
And now he's freaking out.
let us know on the Facebook live feed. I don't see the video though, personally.
I bet it's going.
I bet it is going, and it's just our internet is pooey.
Janice Marie Ferguson says I can see y'all, so it's just my
Yay!
stuff. Sorry,
Thank
y'all.
you, Janice.
False alarm.
Thanks, Janice. Thanks for nothing, Swanson.
Well, as long as I can see the comments, that's all that matters. Because
That's all that's
I
important.
just need to know that my fans can get to me if they need to.
Well, what you were trying to do was uncensor the podcast is what you wanted to have happen. Which
Because I wanted you to be the one to cuss.
Did you see him throw his microphone to the side, though? What the?
it just went completely upside down. Wilson has gone completely off the ledge, and it's all over. We have an LHRL app. We want everyone to be on it. The goal with the LHRL app is to bring fitness to as many people as possible. We have Valerie Hunt working with us, who's bringing us different programs for different distances, for different goals that you have, as well as daily WODs and barbell strength exercises, body weight exercises. For $3.99 a month, you can be on the app, and you will get the LHRL daily program. For $9.99, you can have access to any of the LHRL programs and subscribe yourself to them at any time, and they will be delivered straight to the calendar in your app, and you will also be part of the Lift Heavy Run Long community. It's a really cool thing, and everybody needs to be a part of it. However, if you do not have $3.99 a month and you need some fitness in your life, whether you are getting out of rehab, coming through a divorce, or unemployed, or for whatever the reason may be, if you need fitness and have no money, email me at wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com and we'll get you set up on the app free of charge.
Woot.
I am one of your hosts, Wilson Horrell, but I am nobody in comparison to the two lovely and fantastic people that are sitting next to me. The most attractive woman in the world, the most educated, I don't know if she's the most educated woman in the world, but she's a highly intelligent woman. And she is an excellent mother to our children, which I want to tell you about, is Jacked and Tan, Dr. Amanda Horrell.
Hello. I almost said good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I couldn't be better.
Good.
Sitting here with the two of y'all, how could I be any better?
You seem pretty pumped.
It's podcast day.
Yeah, I don't like the Slack thing because I can't do the GIFs.
We just got to show you how to do it.
I mean, when I do the backslash thing, it just kind of pops up whatever it wants to pop up, and I can't pick it.
Yeah, and then you can hit, there's a button there to, like, I don't like that one, I don't like that one, I don't like that one, I don't like that one.
I was very sad I couldn't do, like, any yay.
Amanda's very...
The three of us get very, very excited on podcast day.
Yes, we do.
We start talking at like 5 a.m. in the morning usually about how exciting this day is.
How fun is that?
I love it.
And since you've come on, you've brought on all kinds of energy.
Yep.
Which
I don't know about that,
helps feed the whole team. And, Vaughn's over there at work, I'm sure, like, God, will these guys just calm down? I've got this job that I need to take care of, and they just won't shut up.
That's why he's not here today.
But it's great. It's my favorite thing in the world. Podcasting is, and the fact that Amanda's on here with me, I just love it.
Get to meet a lot of interesting people, get to talk with 3 of my really good friends every single week, so, can't be mad at it.
Yep. Let me tell you about Amanda and how good of a mother she is to the children. They get so excited when they talk to her. They just get like through the roof. You can hear it. They FaceTime and they're just like all into it. They talk to me and it's like, like how's school and fun? How's this cool? How's that done?
They're just finally happy to have an adult around that they can.
They are, and they feel good about that. And I have to work this weekend. And it's great because they're so pumped that I have to work and that they'll be here alone with Amanda. And I mean, it's not like when I come home, they'll be happy to see me and they'll be happy to see me leave. And that all makes me happy because just the fact that they're comfortable, they're happy. That's all I care about.
Sure.
And there was a point in time when everything was just kind of gray and we were all trying to figure each other out and life was weird and new and they went through a lot of change. And then Amanda came in and was consistent with them and nurturing towards them. And that's just something that some people will understand what I'm talking about and some people won't. But if you understand, then you totally get what I'm talking about. And if you understand what I'm talking about, you'll know why it's so important for me to bring it up just about every podcast because it means that much to me. So Andy, our daughter, she's got probably a little bit of me in her where she can be conniving to some extent, but she's in her advanced reading class and she didn't do all the reading that she was supposed to do. And
oops.
That could be a problem. Amanda could have made it a problem and we could have all jumped her butt and just gotten it in her face and made a big scene. Instead, I get a text, a 3-way text between Amanda and Andy. It says, Andy, it looks like you need more advanced reading points. Ms. Martin said you can borrow books from her. Please bring 1 or 2 home this weekend. We will have a reading weekend! ! I'm rereading my Harry Potter books. I will have a reading buddy. See if Grayson will bring a book too. We can make cookies and read this weekend.
That's awesome.
And so now I'm sure they're sitting at home like, I can't wait to go read with Amanda and eat cookies all weekend while Dad is out of the house working.
Well, I needed to approach. She's like you, so I had to approach it a different way. Something that sounded good.
Well, it could be real easy.
Do you get Wilson with cookies too?
You just have to make it fun for them.
Okay.
Not everybody makes it fun
Let's clean house,
for them.
Wilson.
Not everybody makes it fun for them. How many people with, quote, step-parents do you know that can't wait to go see their stepmother? Almost none. I would say almost none. I can't think of any.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
We'll leave it at that.
Next to Jacked and Tan, who is awesome, is Bryan Swanson, who is awesome. And since we're on the topic of family and people doing awesome things with their family, I think it was awesome that you went to the Notre Dame spring game this week with all your family.
Yep. My 2 boys.
And what I love even most about that is the fact that you have kids and grandkids and stepkids and other people's kids, and you just have like people that you love. And I don't even know which one of them are what. I don't know who is Carol's children, biological children, or who's your biological children.
I do not have any biological children.
Do you not?
I do not.
That's what's even more beautiful about the whole thing. Because you talk about them all just like
they're my kids.
They're all people that you love.
Yeah.
And they're all, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's even more unbelievable that none of them are yours. But because I don't.
Well, so the DNA test says that he's not mine, but my youngest son, he's been around me the longest, and he's definitely got entirely too much of my personality. So.
How many of them are in the mix between kids and grandkids?
There are 3 kids and 7 grandkids.
Wow. What's the youngest grandkid?
Youngest grandkid is, I'm going to get it wrong, let's just say 15 or 16 months.
He's so cute.
And then do y'all have grandkids that lived with y'all?
We do. The two oldest lived with us for a few years. Dion is 19 and Anna's 18.
And that's where the distinction between kids and grandkids gets
Right.
kind of blurry.
Right. 'Cause
Dion
they're
doesn't look like
they're
anybody's
adults.
grandkid to me. I mean, that's the biggest
You know,
biggest
it's-
grandkid I've ever
It's so
seen.
funny. He's like 5'10", probably like
He's
265, 270 pounds, and he could take anybody out that he wanted to. But
Without question.
all I got to do is just give him a look, and he's like, "Yes, sir."
Does he respect you like that?
Oh yeah, like I think he'd be afraid to hurt me, but I'm like, if we need to go outside and tussle, we'll take care of this. Like if you want to bow up on me, and he's like, "No, sir. No, sir."
Never has.
No.
Well, I've seen him jump up on a box, and I know he can get up there fast enough to
floats like a
slap
butterfly.
you down. He does.
Yeah.
That is a very light 265-pound individual.
Yeah.
My dad will tell you the story about when I was probably 240 pounds, sophomore in high school, and he got in my face for something. And he said he had his finger pointing in my chest, and he stopped for a moment and thought, if this guy snaps, I'm dust. I have to have a new approach to my shot here. So I'm going to have to attack him with the wallet and just take money away, as opposed to physically try to intimidate him, because that's only going to work for so long.
Yeah, I could tell you stories. I mean, my kids haven't always loved me as a dad. I used to be the step monster, and I think they all respect me now. But my oldest son and I have destroyed 2 Christmas trees
Have you really?
in a brawl, which is really like me not letting something go that he's getting in trouble about, and him just getting himself worked up, and he comes at me, and I don't fight him. I just take him to lock him up and take him to the floor. And a lot of times that ended up being a Christmas tree.
Well, 'tis the season.
Right?
I mean, if you're going to lock a son up and throw him somewhere, then do it when there's a Christmas tree around.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, did that come from you being aware and making changes on your own, or did age make
Which
that?
part?
When did the relationship come together?
I think as they got older and realized I wasn't as stupid as they thought I was.
Yeah. So it was them wisening up as opposed to you softening up?
I probably got softer over time too. I mean, the two boys lived with us at various points. Matt always lived with us until he went to college. Michael lived with us a few different times. And then 2 grandkids, so after 4 kids, I probably decided that some battles weren't worth fighting.
Yeah.
So I may have softened up somewhere along the way.
Do I sound like I'm trying to be a therapist? Welcome to Dr. Beefcake's therapy. Tell us more. How does that make you feel? Use feeling
I love
words.
it.
Step-parent show.
I was the best. I was the best man in my youngest son's wedding. So
Were you really?
I was.
That's awesome.
That is totally awesome, dude.
Yeah, we went to Vegas for Carol's 50th birthday, and sitting at a blackjack table with him, and I just hit 21. He's like, "Oh, on that note, let me ask you something real quick," and asked me if I would be his best man, and I sit there crying in Vegas.
That was my next question.
I was like, "There's no crying in baseball. There's no crying in Vegas. No crying in blackjack."
Yes, there is. There's crying
Apparently
everywhere.
there is.
There's crying welcome everywhere.
Apparently
I'll
there
start
is.
doing it right now. I think my estrogen's high. That's probably the problem.
I've had people at work be like, ask me about the kids and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, when they get older, they'll hate you." It's like, I don't think
Maybe.
so.
It's not going to be that they hate you specifically, though. They're just going to hate all adults or anybody in a position to tell them that they're not doing something right or not allowed to do something or whatever.
I could, if things stay the course that they are now, I can see much more easily them hating me and relying on you for the emotional support.
please?
Yeah. I
But
think
you think you act like the kids like. I mean, they don't hug you or anything when they leave, but they love you. They love you. I was going
my
to say
kids
they
love
you.
me. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
I don't ever worry about that. And I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, the relationship that we have, the family that we have at our house is great. It's
Yeah.
funny, and
It is funny.
The vibe is good. Everybody has their role, and I am perfectly comfortable with my role in the house. But I think that there's something about you that they'll just always, things would really have to go awry, for that to, it would be easy for you to start strong. There's a lot of women that start strong, a lot of stepmoms that come in, they're fun and, life's good. And then that fizzles out, but that would have fizzled by now.
Yeah. Well, they're my kids. They're my kids because I'm not having any biological kids. So they're my kids.
Yeah.
I call them my kids. And then people laugh when I say my kids. I was like, what's funny about that?
Yeah, it always cracks. I mean, I confuse people a lot of times because I start talking about my kids and grandkids, and that my daughter's 38 years old and my grandson's 19. They're like, you don't look old enough to have a daughter and a grandson that old. And I usually just try and avoid it because I just don't want to get into it. But when they keep pushing, I'm like, oh, they're not biologically mine, but
yeah,
I call them mine. So,
well, you won't find anybody in my family that looks at Amanda and says they're not your kids, because they're all like, this woman is godsend. She's fabulous.
That's awesome. Step
She
parents
is.
rock.
Should we talk about Ouachita?
Any reviews?
Maybe.
Do we have one for real?
Would you like to know?
Yeah, I want to know.
I can tell you. Say please. I've got a review and I've got a really nice email. Which one do you want first? I'm going to do the email first.
No, the review, because they went online and did all the steps to do it.
Okay. I'll do the review first.
Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever. If I can find it.
What he wants doesn't even matter.
You want to know how many stars it is?
5.
It's 5 stars. Look like they
What?
tried to hit six. Guess what it's titled?
5-star review.
Da Bomb.
Oh.
The bomb.
Did they put my name first?
By Vanilla Wafer.
No.
I am new to your community. Thank you for inspiring me. I'm so excited I can't even talk. I need to start drinking again.
Oh, jeez.
No.
Thank you for inspiring me to do more in my community. I love listening to your guests, especially when they are giving back to their community. I enjoy your Facebook posts as well as the support of that online community. I will be checking out the app next. Congratulations on your copyright. I look forward to each new episode. They're getting me through my first ultra training program.
Sweet.
Nice.
Da bomb. Thank you, Vanilla Wafer. That's pretty good stuff. It makes me happy.
I think of banana pudding when I think of vanilla wafers.
I think of whose alarm is that?
It's for the camera. I didn't know I don't know how my sound's off. I don't know.
Wasn't me.
Sorry.
You set an alarm to hit the camera button?
Yep.
All right.
It's not working
Are we
though.
There's no way we're already 30 minutes in.
I do it 20.
We're 20 minutes into this thing?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, come on.
Okay, here's somebody that I guess they signed up for the email. And so hi Wilson, by way of an introduction, I'm Mike, and unlike most of your crew, I suspect I live in the UK. I am by no way a weightlifter. As long as I can raise a pint, I'm good. I was a fairly good runner. I had a marathon time of 1:20, half marathon time of 1:24.
Dang.
And a marathon time of 3:24, but enjoyed shorter distances. But then life and work got in the way. These times were 2012. I've relocated away from my running club and really found it difficult to keep my mojo. So I went from running 100 miles a week to not having a run combined 50 miles in 2 years. Bad times. Then it was my daughter who inspired me to get my butt back on the road. She was doing a school project on Mother Teresa and was in tears asking why we couldn't adopt all of the orphans, as no one should be unsafe or alone. Amen. Wow. She was putting her teddies into a bag to send to the orphanage. She's 6. I couldn't help but support her. So long story short, we now have chickens to sell their eggs. Grace's school are doing a fundraiser. Grace and I are doing a glow run, and I'm doing my first 50K. Dig Deep Peak Trails 30, which is how I found LHRL from the Tunnel Hill documentary, which made me laugh so much it reminded me of how I felt to be in a club. Unfortunately, I live in a fairly remote village, so there isn't a club here, but watching you made me believe I could do it. So now the training is going steady. I'm up to 30 to 40 miles a week as a benchmark and longest run of 20 miles. I have a few test events that I've entered to keep me honest. So that's me. If you ever decide to do some UK running tourism, please let me know and I'd be happy to help plan races, accommodations, etc. Or if I can arrange my business travel to swing by, I will come say hi. Keep rocking, Mike.
Sweet. That's
awesome.
awesome.
How cool is that?
That's a very cool. And we have other people in the UK, right?
We do.
I
We do.
don't know enough geography of the UK to say how far apart people are, but
I don't know where the UK at all, but I do know that London, England's in there. Or I know England's in London's in England.
and England is part of the UK. Congratulations.
And Big Mac Smash is one of our ambassadors, is from London, England. He's from
That's
the UK
awesome.
and also from London, England, which is in the UK. So I know that now. And we have ambassadors.
We have ambassadors.
Our
How
ambassador
about
program is the bomb, dude. I can't be any more excited about that.
that? We had a little hiccup in our getting everybody joined into our community chat, but
You know why we had a hiccup?
why's that?
Because we have hiccups. That's what's so great about this thing.
But it's okay. We all just rolled with it and we made it work. And somebody was like, "What about me?" And we're like, "You're in." And they were like,
Somebody
"What
else
about
was
me?"
like, what about me? You're like, well, we're going to
You're
get you in too. Well, I'm not in either. You know what? We're going to let you in.
We've got an ambassador channel for everybody. It's like Oprah.
That's
One
the
for
beauty
you,
of
one
all
for you, one
our
for
lack of blueprint, our lack of direction, our lack of
planning.
planning in general is great. You know, I think that having ambassadors with no real, getting the questions of how do you want us to be and being able to say, we want you to be yourself,
Yep.
whatever that is. Like, we're not here to tell you, what to promote or what to put out. If somebody needs help, make sure they know where to find it.
Yep.
And aside from that, there are really no rules to the deal, except for don't be an a-hole.
Right.
We established that, and that seems easy enough. But I'll break that in no time.
Or are you officially an ambassador?
I think so. Yeah, don't I get to be an ambassador?
I think so.
Aren't y'all ambassadors?
I don't know. I got the free T-shirts today,
Yeah.
so apparently
I
I'm
didn't
an
get any free
ambassador.
T-shirts.
I'm going to give you some.
I'm just kidding.
I'm going to give you some. Stop it.
That's funny.
Hey, I started keto.
Really?
Yeah.
So, because I'm such a stickler for like specifics and doing things the right way,
Okay.
my perceived right way.
Uh-huh.
What does that mean to you that you're doing keto?
It means that my cholesterol is probably about 400 over whatever, and I'm going to lose 30 pounds in a couple of weeks and then die of a heart attack because I'm not a stickler and I don't know what I'm doing except for eating tons of bacon and
So you're eating a lot of protein and you're eating low carb.
right.
Okay.
And I pee on a stick like every 45 minutes or so and see what color it is.
Okay.
That's what I know so far. Okay. But I feel like that I'm far enough into it now. I started it last Sunday, so I've been on it 8 days.
Have you officially entered ketosis yet?
Yeah.
You have? Interesting.
Yes. Well, we did the Wichita 50K.
Yeah.
And then I ate a big, massive pizza and finished the pizza the next day. And then after that is when I pretty much cut out carbs. So I would imagine that 50K probably would get a head start on some ketosis. Wouldn't you think?
Or rhabdo.
Yeah.
Kidney disease.
Speaking
Whatever.
of,
Liver failure. My
so-
liver is solid, by the way.
so the mountain
Uh-huh.
Yes.
at Wichita.
Yes,
Yeah.
the mountain.
Literally a mountain.
It is literally a mountain.
Yes, it is.
It's not a hill like
Nope.
I perceived everybody to blow it up to a mountain.
Somebody tell you that course was flat, like Fall Creek Falls or anything?
Nope. But they didn't tell us it was like that. I thought the mountain was a novelty, like a photo op. Like there's probably about 12 feet.
What was the ascent time, like ish? How long did it take you?
45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was a
It's
climb.
significant.
Yeah.
Yes. You think, and there's a lady in front of me who done it before, because there's not really a trail once you start climbing rocks.
Right.
And so you just kind of have to follow the people who've done it before, because there's clearly, it's just a rocky mountain that you can go up.
Sure.
So I'm following these two people that I have asked, have you done this before? And they said yes. And we're getting to the top. And she's like, "Oh, sweetie, you think this is top, but this isn't the top. You just can't see the top yet." And I'm like, whatever. And we like make it over,
crazy.
whatever. And I mean, it's just straight up again, and you can't see the top. It's like, oh my goodness.
Keeps going.
It just kept going and going and
Starts to level off. Okay.
Okay.
Not
I
good.
now have a new appreciation for this mountain. Like 45 minutes to an hour ascent. I'm thinking like you're climbing for like 15 minutes.
No.
That's what I figured. 12 minutes tops.
Yeah, like
My
and
watch is
people are
dead,
just-
so I
people
can't
are
tell
just
you
kinda
my mile
whining.
time for that. You have your watch on. Mine's dead, but you can give him your mile time for that lap.
We don't have enough time in this episode for him to figure out how to pull that up.
Well, and the mountain obviously is not a trail,
Right.
and so you're free to pick whatever route you want. So I mean, there's
Yeah, there's people like going up to the side,
20
and
or
kinda get
30
stuck.
yards width,
and then
a
having to go over.
swath of people going here or there.
How do they know that you went over the mountain?
Well,
There's people at the top.
Somebody's writing down bib numbers? Okay.
and
Numbers
you get your
and
picture at
pictures
the top.
there.
Right.
And
right.
because you get the picture at your top, that's why I figured this is just
The photo op.
this is the photo op. So, then there's no picture guy here. 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 And I was running with the guy that knew the mountain really well. And he was like, it just keeps going. Look, we're going to think we're here. We're in purgatory is where we're at.
That was me at Tunnel Hill. Every time I was like, okay, so we're going to go around that bend, and that's going to be where Tunnel Hill is at. And you go around the bend, and it's just still going up. Now, of course, we're not climbing a mountain. It was a 2% grade or whatever it was, but I know that feeling.
That and I'm severely allergic to poison oak, poison ivy. And like one of her last announcements before we take off running is she's like, be careful what you grab climbing the mountain and the trees in the woods near the mountain because everything's kind of covered in poison ivy and poison oak. So, and she wasn't lying, in between the rocks and stuff. You had to be careful what rock you grabbed and
Oh,
make sure you
wow.
weren't touching, the poisonous stuff.
Next year, you'll be bringing the
Yeah.
medical gloves.
So I'd reach for a tree to kind of grab onto and it'd have a vine. I'm like, So
Interesting.
it was a challenge.
Mile 5 was 46 minutes, and mile 6
Almost a new record.
was 21.
So it was going back down.
Almost a new record.
I sure did. I shouldn't have put out so much. Was the problem.
You were going too fast.
Well, and you start when it's almost dark, and you don't realize it at the time, but the road that you're going is all uphill. So the first half mile, I'm like, I am so out of shape. Like, I am dead. My calves
because it's a steady
are
grade.
killing me.
You're not realizing.
Yeah, and I'm just feeling like I'm dust. Like, I've severely underestimated this. I'm in so much trouble. And so then when you get to 3 miles all uphill, you go over that mountain. So you're 4 miles into it, and you're 2.5, 3 miles into the race. So you're like, wow, like cutoffs. Your head's all screwed up, and so you start thinking like, I'm not going to make a 13-hour cutoff. I'm not going to make. I've got to finish in this time or that time, and so it really just messes with the whole.
So
deal.
climb down the other side of the mountain. The rest of the day was a good day.
It's still pretty. It's hard.
That was a
The
hard
whole thing
race.
was
That was the
hard.
hardest.
Technical?
That was, yes,
Yeah.
very technical.
Interesting.
Very rocky, like Sillamore.
Okay.
Rocks out of the ground.
Interesting.
Very little just path. I don't know. There's
Yes.
any dirt.
Kind of like
path.
Sillamore. We always say
Yeah.
there's very little that's like
Correct.
runnable.
Yes. Right.
Interesting.
It
I mean, if
seems
you're
like
gonna
you were
run
always
it,
going uphill somewhere.
You better be running and be on your A game.
and scanning the ground for all the rocks
So
sticking out of there.
what was the best finisher? Any idea? Just curious. Like
Somebody said,
what stupid fast person showed up? What they do it in?
somebody was looking at somebody in Lift Heavy Run Long community on Facebook was kindly saying to my 10.5 hour finish, the best times were in the 7.
Oh, nice.
Or
Okay.
or we're saying that somewhere was 7.5 finishers.
But was that the 50 miler?
was
I think the first 50 miler came in right behind me at 9 hours.
Wow.
so his point was
Yeah.
the thing takes a long time.
Yeah.
Well, that makes me feel a little bit better about it then. Like, as far as, not that you guys are comparing yourself to the number one finisher, but like, if Wilson finished in 10 hours and the fastest guy is only 7 hours, then that's pretty impressive. That tells me how difficult the course is.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things that goes back to, like, especially our community, Lift Heavy Run Long and stuff, but where being a CrossFitter helps you be a better trail runner on a technical course like this where there's more climbing and stuff like that. I feel like being a CrossFitter is an advantage.
Oh, for sure.
Over a regular runner.
Well, I can tell you there was a feeling of out of shape that only stemmed so far, if that makes any sense. There's
it doesn't ever get any worse.
It did not. Yeah. Correct. It didn't get.
It gets bad.
It got as bad at mile 2 as it stayed until mile 26, until naturally things just all start being like, ugh.
Right.
I'm just ready to go home. But yeah, I was going up the hills at my 18, 19 minute mile pace and still being like, wow, like I can't believe these things are still going. I can't believe these legs are still churning. As slow as they may be, I still feel like I got a lot of power there.
Speaking of slow, towards the end of the race, I don't really like to look at my watch a lot,
Sure.
So, but there towards, the end, I was getting, I guess, 6 miles out. I was like, okay, I was like, if I'm going to walk, I need to power walk and keep this at a 15-minute mile. If I'm going to power walk this thing, 15 to 17. And at first, I was keeping that rate, that pace, and I kept looking, and I glanced down. It was like 20. And I was like, I'm like booking it. I'm like, I feel like I'm going faster than 20. And then I looked again. I was like slowing down more. And I was like, I know I went up a hill. I was looking at the wrong side. I was looking at my mileage.
Oh.
So
Why
I'm
does the time keep going up?
I was like, I was getting so mad. I was like, just screw it. I'm just going to walk slow and drag my feet. And then I looked down like, oh my goodness. And so I think that's part of why my time was so good. Cause I was like, I'm going so slow. And I'm like, running and power walking as hard as I could.
I really try not to pay attention to my pace on trail races. I do look at the distance because for me, like ticking off the miles is a mental thing for me. Mm-hmm. So I want to know it. And sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. Like, there's been times, I'm trying to think, I think Tunnel Hill is another good example, when it's the middle of the night, or not even the middle of the night, it's probably 8 or 9 o'clock at night. feels like I've been out there for 24 hours straight.
You're alone.
And, and it's like, I'm like, okay, you look at my watch, okay, I'm 42 miles in, and it's like, all right, I'm going to walk for 10 minutes, and then I'll look at my watch again, and I look at my watch and, okay, you're 42.1 miles in.
0.03 in.
It's like, wait a minute. How has that only been 2 minutes? Like, damn it. It's just horrible.
42 miles in. Then 10 minutes later, it's like 39.7 miles in. I've fallen over and rolled backwards. So tell us about Ragnar Trail.
That was a fun event.
Was it your first one?
It was. Not my first Ragnar, but my first Ragnar Trail.
Okay.
Ragnar Trail in Atlanta.
Yeah, Ragnar Trail in Atlanta, North Mississippi Endurance, and OBCF put a team together. And you're supposed to have 8 runners. We started off with 7. Now, let me say that I was not originally supposed to be on the team. I was supposed to be going as a cheerleader. I was going to be the drinking guy that was there when everybody crossed the line, and I'm just going to go and have fun. It was a way for me to get out of town for the weekend. And, as soon as I said I was going, somebody's like, oh, I can't go, so Bryan can take my spot. And I was like, wait. It's not how this is supposed to work.
You gave them that. They're like, oh, well, now I don't have to go.
Yeah.
The drinking guy's going to be there.
So we're supposed to have 8 people. We only ended up with 7 because another person ended up not being able to go as well. And then I had a death in the family. So the race started Friday. We started Friday afternoon. I had to be back in Memphis by 10 a.m. Saturday morning. So we drove up there Thursday, hung out Thursday night. Race started our start time was like 2:20 or 2:30 on Friday, and I ran my 3 legs between 2 p.m. and midnight, and then got in the car and drove home. And it was fun. It was hot. It was I don't do well in the heat. And they were like, "Oh, it's all shaded. It's fine." And I'm like,
"No, it's hot.
It's still just hot."
Yeah.
Like, and there was no breeze, because you're in the middle of the woods. Mm-hmm. But I really enjoyed it, and I definitely want to go back again when I can be a part of the whole weekend. Because, like I always say, those trips are a ton of fun, except for the running. I mean, just the hanging out.
That's a great setup.
We had just a couple tents. We're just kind of sitting there shooting the breeze, hanging out for the weekend, and every once in a while somebody disappears for a couple hours to go do a run thing. And
Yeah.
That was fun. I want to do it again.
And y'all had Sean Hillsden did 30 miles.
Yeah. Okay. So the rest of the story. So after I ran a leg, I think Lynn ran the second leg. She got so hot and overheated that she started puking and couldn't quit puking. Ended up in the medical tent with an IV attached to her. And so Sean and Anthony are like, okay, she's done. So they're taking over her. Like they've got it all mapped out, like who's running when, right? And they're like reassigning her legs. And she, like 8 hours later, she wakes up from a nap and she's like, "Whoa, I feel good. Let's go run." And they're like, "Whoa, like you'll run tomorrow. It'll be fine."
Take the idea out first.
Yeah, exactly. But she bounced back really fast from it, which was good. But then on second or third leg, Jeff Sullivan got injured or pulled a hamstring or something. On second or third leg, Womahawk got injured. He was like halfway through his loop, twisted his ankle, and walked backwards
The other way.
Oh, no.
to finish, and I guess he didn't realize that he was halfway through, or and that's the way I understand it. But anyways, I mean, as far as the team goes and the finish goes, it was a cluster.
Isn't that perfect though?
But
isn't
who cares?
Kind of the bad news bears.
Other than people getting injured.
We are the North Mississippi endurance team.
Exactly.
It's perfect.
Exactly.
What a perfect crew. I mean, if I'm going to be a part of any team that's going to fall apart, I want it to be that group.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
everybody's going to make the best of it regardless.
But,
But Sean Hillsden ran like 7 legs, I think, or 6 legs. I think Anthony
chomping
ran.
at the bit for every. He's
like,
wished
"Give me more,
everybody
coach.
would
Give me
just
more, coach."
line up and let me run over you with my truck,
Seriously.
and let me run all 100 miles.
I would happily run every single leg if you guys would just sit down and say you don't want to.
Yep. And if I need to use the restroom, then Anthony Lane can. Was Anthony healthy?
Anthony was healthy, and
he's
and he
an
ran.
absolute
I think he ran
baller.
4 or 5 loops himself. And so because of the injuries and stuff, we ended up falling behind to where we weren't going to finish in the time they wanted us to finish in. So the last time we did each loop, we had 2 people on that loop simultaneously.
Yeah.
So like Lynn and Dawn went and ran together, and that counted for 2 of our loops, and then so on and so forth. And but who cares? We had fun. Like I said, other than the running, it was a great weekend.
Good for Sean. Good for Anthony. Good for the more elite runners that welcome us to go and just make it a good time and don't
get hung up on the fact.
Yeah,
that
because
we're
they
not gonna
could
win.
easy.
Yeah.
And
they could probably find fast people if
For
they wanted
sure.
to go out there and win.
Yeah. Yeah, and they don't do that. And they could. If the roles were reversed, I think I would probably be more jerky about things.
If you were organizing it, you would want the winning team.
No, if I was fast.
Oh.
It would be easier for me to look at it and be like, well, I'm fast. Everyone else should be fast. And if you're not, then I'm going to be mad at you. But I will never know the answer to that. I promise you.
I just remember, so all the CrossFit teams, there was 2 start times for the CrossFit teams, and we were in the second start time for the CrossFit team. So everybody, like we lined up, 3, 2, 1, go. Everybody that's starting at the same time as me, because I ran the very first leg, were all CrossFitters.
Oh, really?
And some of those guys were like laying down 6-minute miles, and I was like, y'all have fun with that. Like,
Ooh.
I got 3 legs to run in the next like 8 hours, so I ain't even trying to keep up.
Well, but I mean, you're talking about CrossFit people. That's what they do. I'm sure that was the fastest quarter-mile run for all of them. And then they got a half-mile in there, and we're like, ugh.
No, they were still going a
Were they
mile
really?
and a half in. I could still see them about a mile and a half in, and they were still smoking it. So.
Weren't there? How far is the whole thing?
Like 3, 4, and basically 3, 4, and 5, roughly.
No, I mean the whole team does.
Oh.
What's the total mileage?
I don't know what the total mileage
Because
is.
Drew said that there were people there doing ultras,
Yes.
doing the entire thing.
Like four man or less teams is an ultra team.
So doing 100-mile, 50 miles.
I think the number I have is somewhere between 150 and 200. But I don't really know. I mean, I could probably do that math. Well, we could do the math. It's each runner runs 15-ish miles, and there's 8 runners. So
120 miles.
120 miles. So 120 miles total.
Yep.
Ish.
I did that math. Nobody said good job. Good job, Wilson.
Because you're the math guy.
That's right. That's it.
I didn't even try. Isn't that bad? I didn't even nope. I was like, okay, those are numbers.
You gonna do it next year?
I'm in, man.
Did they play Tiptoe Through the Tulips in remembrance of Wilson?
Have you ever even heard that story? We're not even gonna go into it.
It's on one of our pods.
Sean completely embarrassed me in front of the whole camp and in front of the whole staff. Speaking of Sean and Brian, speaking of Sean, I want to also mention Brian Williams. I've done a terrible job of continuing to talk about
Walking tall, 25K
walking
and
tall
50K.
25K,
That was on my list to talk about
50K.
too.
They're killing it with that thing.
They're probably going to sell out before it gets here.
That's awesome.
And it's still like 4 months away. 5
Brian's
months away.
like, yeah, it's not selling out. He wants to load that thing up as many people as they'll let him have.
No, but they've got a permit that's only going to allow so many people.
The people told him originally, don't even bother with a permit.
Uh-oh.
Like the forest rangers that they're dealing with are just so happy that they're bringing people out there to show off the
That's
park.
awesome, but that sounds dangerous.
I'm sure that there is a number, but my point is, I think that they're going to have a lot of people. They've got almost 1,000 people in. How many races do you know that have 1,000 people in a Facebook group? They have at least 800.
I don't know.
None. First year.
First year.
Hasn't even happened yet.
Well, so they're like just naturally awesome running community type people. So it doesn't surprise me that they connected with people who also are part of awesome running communities, and that it quickly just blew into this whole thing.
And they're both good leaders and they're hard workers. So whatever it was, whether it's a running, if it would have been a symphony that's being put together, or whatever, a financial convention, it was going to be good.
So we should talk to them about the LHRL experience.
Well, Brian called me about having Lift Heavy Run Long sponsor an aid station.
Okay.
And
so does that mean I don't have to run the race now?
No, I told him no. I told him no because here again, I told him, I said, I don't know how to assign people to do that. It's not like anybody's getting paid. I don't have influence.
That just means it's your job to find the volunteers, not that you have to assign or pay. It's just you're going to find LHRLers that don't want to run but want to come out.
You're going to find it, which means finding people that says, "Yeah, I'd love to," and then come race day, they're like, "Oh, this weekend."
So you find 20 people and you only need 5 of them, and then when 15 show up, you're like, "Well, you guys are just going to be the best cheering squad ever."
It wouldn't work like that. I couldn't.
I don't like your attitude.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't like it because I'm so cynical on people doing what they say they're going to do. I would just hate to do that. Plus, I want to run.
That about you.
Plus, I want to run.
But okay.
Well, maybe if we have like 15 people come forward and be like, "I will be there."
I heard the podcast. I will be there, and I'll be that guy. I will forego my run to run the aid station for you.
Well, anyways, I told him no. I told him that, which, I mean, he wasn't like begging. He wasn't scrounging for people to do it. Obviously,
he's trying to help you out.
He was trying to help me out
Yeah,
to see, do you want this to
We want the
publicize?
aid station that's at the top of the fire tower.
Who's going to crawl up there?
Everybody.
Everybody does.
You have
It's
to.
part of the race.
Oh, that's right. Excuse me. Listen, y'all calm down a second. Y'all calm down.
I want to set up an aid station up top.
Okay, you need to do that. Take the LHRL
We need a
banner
flag.
up there.
And hang it off like a flag.
Yeah, you need to find a flag now. See there?
Okay.
Now take the banner,
Challenge
find a
accepted.
flag, find 5 people, talk to Brian, and organize it.
It's going to happen.
How's that?
gonna be
And
a
you can take that 500-pound tent that we have up there with you. But that's going to the campsite. I've got campsites reserved for Friday night.
Oh, nice. Are we camping?
Yes.
Heck yeah.
Friday we are.
I'm excited about that.
I got 2 of them, which I think is the way that it looked on the map. 2 of them might as well be 20
Okay.
because they don't have a lot of campsites, but there appears to be a lot of space.
I'm excited about that.
And I think that an event like that, where everybody there they'll all be there for the same thing. That'll be fine if we
Jameson.
spread out.
I'll
And
be there for the Jameson.
that's right. So you can get there and start professing your finish time.
I got,
Gather around, kids. Everybody come around. Somebody help me. Son, go get some ice and put it in my glass here. Somebody
uncork
open my
this for me.
Jameson, and let's talk about what I'm going to do to all y'all tomorrow.
I'll tell you, that was probably one of the funny things for me at Ragnar is, so we get there Thursday night. There's nothing going on, like event-wise. I mean, there's like a movie playing or something like that, and there's a bonfire, but there's nothing like required going on. Nobody's running at Ragnar. And so we all sit down and start drinking beer or whatever, and somebody's like, "Oh, Brian, I'm surprised you don't have any whiskey with you." And I was like, "Who says I don't?" I just didn't bring enough to share, so I've been pulling it out. And we started talking about it. Well, everybody wanted some, so we actually ended up going into town to buy a bottle.
Oh, did you left Ragnar to go do
Yeah,
that?
we went into town, bought a bottle of Jameson, bought stuff for mimosas the next morning,
Oh, wow.
and we polished off a bottle of Jameson. that
There you
night.
go.
And I had help this time.
I'm proud
I
of
didn't do
y'all.
it by myself.
Good for y'all.
Way to share.
and Womahawk said that there was glamping. He said that you could pay
Holy
an
cow.
extra $150 or something.
Yeah, but the problem is it's not like Wilson can pay $150 to glamp on his own. It's $150 per person on the team, and everybody on the team has to decide that they are glamping.
Which
Yeah.
Sean Hilsden will never,
Yeah, he
ever,
will not glamp.
ever
It's $1,200 a
he
team.
will not glamp.
It's $1,200 a team.
Yeah. You know what the alternative to that is? Everybody pay $80 extra, and Sean Hilsden will glamp better than they can glamp.
We pay Sean Hilsden the $80.
Yes.
And
Everybody chump up the cash
I didn't
and let him
even do that, and it was almost that good. I mean, I showed up and my campsite was set up.
If that
all I
was
had to do
the
was, like, throw out
if
a
that was the
sleeping
deal
bag.
for Sean to out camp someone, then he would have pyrotechnics and Beyonce out there. He would have the glamping people packing down everybody's tent and just throwing money at him, saying, "You handle this."
I'm pretty sure it was. I don't know Anthony well enough, but I know Sean well enough to think. Like when we got there, so that like there was very specific rules. Like each team's only allowed to take up a 17 by 20 space.
Right.
So he has like stakes
Yeah.
in the ground
Yeah.
with like an orange fence around it. Like this is our area.
Pythagorean theorem
Exactly.
corners squared off
Exactly.
perfectly.
It was amazing.
He's an engineer and an Eagle Scout.
Yeah,
You're not
it
going to
was-
beat that guy.
Well,
That
but
is his environment.
Yeah, but the thing is like once everybody was set up, it's like ish. It was 17 by 20 ish. You know, like we could have easily gone beyond that. But he's like, this is our
But
area.
he got his area. That's what that whole environment from the time that you get out there. That's his world. You're not gonna beat him in setting up camp. You're not gonna beat him in efficiency, and you sure as heck are not gonna beat him in running. So like that's his entire world. So the glamping thing, he doesn't even like. He is adamantly opposed to click list at Kroger. Because people shouldn't be able to call in their groceries and have somebody deliver them. You need to park away from the grocery store and walk in there and pull
and
out
not
your own
use a
groceries.
cart to bring your
And
groceries
not
back
use a
out.
cart.
You need to be able to carry them out
Or
every
a-
single bag
a
in
phone
one trip.
or a list. You shouldn't even have a list. You should know what you want and walk in there and get it.
I like Sean more and more every time
That's
I
the
talk
kind of
about him,
guy I want on my team.
right?
So the Big Hill Pond Walking Tall 25K and 50K is going to be huge.
Huge.
It's in October.
It is in October.
And we're going to have our huge lift heavy run long tent, the big 500 pounder. And the deal is I'll do whatever is involved with setting up, but
You don't want to be the breakdown guy.
y'all got to be breaking down while I'm broken down on the trail.
Dude, we're finishing together like we did Sillamore.
Well, but Amanda, I'm talking to Amanda,
Oh,
What am I for?
because you got to be putting stuff back in the car. So when we get done, like,
when he's
can just-
done, he's done. He wants to get in the car and go. The
Well, I
campsite
do
needs
too.
to already be broken down.
but you'll have an extra 2 hours to do that stuff. Is what I'm saying. Plus, you'll be able to move.
I think that course is going to be super technical, so I'm kind of scared.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really hard. Where
Especially if Sean and Brian's doing it. I think I got it. I finally made the orange light flash.
Yeah, I think that they'll want people DNFing a lot.
They will?
I feel like that.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, they're going to want it to be
I feel like
hard.
Brian Williams is the guy that's trying to create like the the West Tennessee version of Barclays.
Yeah.
Oh.
This needs to be the race that like eats a few people every single year.
Yep. I just want to. I'm going to go ahead and claim myself eaten and just see how far I can go.
Oh, speaking of which, Laz was at Wichita. Or Wachita.
I act like I
awesome.
really know how to pronounce it. No doubt.
Awesome.
It is Wachita.
Did you happen to see the shirts for Wachita?
I did not.
They had some like Chuck Norris hippie guy
The men's shirt did.
on there. And so somebody asked, like Vaughn asked, like, what is the deal with the hippie guy on the shirt climbing the mountain? And so I just put on Facebook, I said, that's Wachita Whalen. I said, many years ago,
Making up a story.
yeah. I said the Wachita people thought he was strange. They stole his goat that he used to make bread and milk. And he came in and he slaughtered the town. And when he ran back, he died. And he lived 50 miles away, but he died 31 miles from the city. And the reason that he died was because he wore new shoes into town, and that's what killed him. And Mark Fortune was like, I didn't know that. Is that a true story about Wachita? Whatever, man. Wachita Whalen.
Okay, it's a thing now.
Yeah, the girl shirts.
The truth can't possibly hold up to that story. Like, just saying, it's like somebody's gonna hear the real story and they'll be like, "No, that's bullcrap. No way."
What else is on the agenda? What do we have after Wachita? We don't have anything planned after Wachita, do we? Between now and
I've
October?
got like 4,000 races.
Do you?
I do.
Does trail running expire? Is it too hot to trail run now?
It is officially too hot to
That's
trail
over
run now. Yes.
We don't have to worry about that anymore.
I've got some little races here and there sprinkled. I always do the Heroes 6K.
That's
I've
a
got
good
that
race.
coming
St.
up.
Jude, you're doing St. Jude,
Half
That's in December.
you're gonna do the
in
half,
December.
which is
And,
like
I wasn't even going to do it because every year I say I'm not going to do it. I feel guilty. And then I had a friend text me, Melissa, and ask if I was going to do it. And since we're doing the Disney stuff in January, I'm like, no, since I'm doing the 50 miler again this year.
Recovery.
Yeah, I'm
blur,
going to
blur,
recover,
blur, blur,
whatever.
blur.
And then I was like, but if you sign up for it, we can run it together and I'll sign up with you. She's like, great, I signed up for the half. It's like, So I signed up
she
for the
called your
half.
bluff.
Yeah.
I am going to do the half in a weight vest.
You gonna do what?
I'm
Dang
going
it.
to do the half in a weight vest.
Now I need to do a weight vest.
I did the 10K last year in a weight vest, and my thing was that because that went so well that I'm going to do the half in the weight vest this year.
Okay.
Sounds stupid, sounds horrible. I
You're not
may
gonna get
regret
the
it.
look from me. I'm
I'm
with you.
getting a look from you.
No, you're not. I'm actually, if you're getting a look, it's because I'm trying so hard not to give you that look. Like, I feel like I'm staring at you like I'm a psychopath because I'm trying to, like, not give you the look. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
So that's cool, man.
Bunch of 5Ks. Got a
Dragon
half
boat race is coming up.
Dragon boat
May
races.
12th.
Are you doing that?
I am not.
Why?
I won't be available.
Okay. But it would be a good place to bring your Jameson and hang out.
I know. I won't be available.
All right. I'm not going to ask what you have going on.
But are you doing the Great American River Run, Amanda? The half?
When
That's
is
the
that?
one. That's Memorial Day weekend. It's like Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. Starts and ends at Tomley Park.
I haven't looked at that one. I don't know. Maybe.
There's going to be some community people out there.
Okay.
So I'm doing. So that's like I'm gonna pick a date out of my butt. It's like the 25th or 26th, whatever that Saturday is, of Memorial Day weekend. Following weekend, I go to South Bend, Indiana. Run the South Bend Half Marathon that finishes on the 50-yard line of Notre Dame football stadium.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
I'm so excited.
Oh, and you're doing that with your son.
That's right up your alley.
I have suckered
cool.
my son.
You sure enough
in-
suckered him. Like
So
that.
it's
That's
so
borderline.
funny.
That's pretty close to lying.
Well, it's funny because he's never done more than walked a 5K as far as races go, and I texted him back in like late February, early March, and said, "Oh my gosh, I just found the South Bend half that finishes on the 50-yard line, and I'm going to sign up for it." And that's all I said. And he's like, oh man, that sounds awesome. I'll do that too. I'll start training for it. I'm like, well, you've never done a half before, we just kind of talked through it, and he's like, and I was like, I think you have plenty of time, and I think you're capable, so I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I just want to make sure you know what you're getting into. And he's like, no, man, I'm in. And so I texted him like last week, and I was like, hey, how's your training going? He's like, well, I'm like running 5 or 6 miles, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and register us for this race. You sure you want to do it? And he's like, I'm definitely in. I was like, okay, we're registered. Okay, I've got the Airbnb. We're good to go. And he's like, what's the URL for the race? And so I sent it to him, and he texts back. He's like, I didn't know there was a 5K and a 10K. I was like, oh, did I forget to mention that? Huh. I don't know how that happened.
That's funny. It'll be good for him, and he'll be fine.
Well, yeah, he'll
like I know what's good for him. Here we go again. I don't know what's good for anybody.
He'll finish. He'll definitely finish. And he'll either be like, that didn't suck as bad as I thought it did. Maybe I'll train a little bit more and do better. Or he'll be like,
paraplegic and have rhabdo.
Yeah. But we'll be in South Bend, and it'll be fun.
That sounds great.
Because that's our happy place.
I'm not running on the road anymore.
That's what you keep saying.
Yeah. I just don't feel like I'm saying it loud enough. Are y'all going to do the Disney stuff?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Should hopefully open on or around June 1st. Registration should.
I'm going to leave that to y'all. I'm going to stay here and play Fortnite.
With
That's
Gary.
That's what I need to.
Gary.
That's what I need to find is more people out there. Is there any listeners that play Fortnite on Xbox?
Do you have a 75-inch TV yet?
No, I don't. I'm going to keep my TV is adequate.
Okay.
It might be small, but it's adequate. Amanda says it's fine. We're going to use that TV.
We're still talking about the TV, right?
That's right.
Okay.
That was your first Christmas present.
And then my TV is the bomb.
Okay.
And I got an Xbox this week.
Nice.
So that Grayson can play Xbox upstairs 15 feet away from where I play Xbox.
Okay.
It took me a good week to get up the courage to ask Amanda if it was okay if I spent my own
Some
money
of your allowance
and bought an Xbox because I just felt this is ridiculous. Like, do I really need an Xbox for one game? But I did. That's all I could think about.
Just think of the father-son bonding time as you guys sit 15 feet apart with walls in between you.
No, not even walls.
Not walls. We're right there.
He just yells over the banister. They yelled at each other.
Except for it was such a great idea for Grayson. Like, yeah, that's cool. That's so awesome. Like, yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. And now he's really, you can tell that he's like, I don't really want to play with this guy.
He's like,
my friends are up there.
Wanna
And so then he comes to me when it's past his bed, like when it's time for his bedtime when his electronic time is coming up, then it's like, you think we could play a game? Because he knows I'll be like, yeah, we can play 4 games real quick. So that's my time I enjoy it. But now I need people that'll play with me. Gary, I talked him into it, and he bought a 75-inch TV, an Xbox, and he upgraded his Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Jennifer's not too happy about that.
No, she's not. And I don't blame her. So I need LHRL people who want to play and not talk. I don't want to wear the headsets. I just want to play. And
you bought the headset, though.
Yeah, but I don't like it.
Oh.
Unless I could wear my Beats and my microphone and have really good audio.
Why can't you?
I don't know if that'll work in Xbox.
I think the audio overall on the Xbox games is terrible.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess I could talk.
You're gonna miss out on like the most important, the social aspect of the game and the trash talking.
Okay, I want to talk. I just want people to play with me.
Oh, Gary's watching, by the way.
Gary Weaver?
He's shy.
We should play tonight. All right, we should end this podcast. Gary, we should play. Let's play Fortnite like now.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, Jennifer walked in the gym yesterday and just walked in and pointed to him as she walked across the floor.
Yeah, that was trouble.
That's funny. Yeah, so smattering of races, 2 halves, going into fall season, Tunnel Hill. Tunnel Hill's y'all's next race-ish?
Yep. And we need to talk about Delta Sunshine Brewing Company, who I just found tonight. It's a guy that I went to high school with, and I've known I went to middle school with him. And I just saw where he started a brewing distributorship Or, I don't know how all that works. A brewing
company.
A brewing company. So does that typically make one beer, or will that make 10 beers?
It depends on the company. Like I think the more successful ones, they start off with 2 or 3 staple beers that they know that are good recipes, and then they kind of branch out from there and see what sticks, and just kind of go from there.
Well, Delta Sunshine Brewing Company is coming to restaurants and festivals, and they're going to go in stores, and I think he said maybe July.
Nice.
And then I told him that I wanted to get some for y'all to drink and try out. We talked about it on the podcast. And then he sent me back a response that said, what about root beer? What if we did you a special batch of root beer? He said,
non-alcoholic root beer?
Yeah. He said, Beefcake brew root beer. Because he knows I don't drink.
Nice.
That's really nice.
And I said, if you make me some of that, that will be every Christmas present, birthday present, anniversary present that I will buy.
Do you want to go ahead and send him a picture of you in your Germantown Red Devils uniform to put on the label?
I was just going to go over there and model it myself in my jersey
with your baby tee.
Yeah.
That's not that funny, Amanda.
I'm sorry. That's not gonna get you for your birthday. Find you your baby tea. Go to your mom's attic. Dig it out.
It's funny. I'm giving you a hard time about like them doing the label with your picture on it or whatever. But for Vaughn and I's 40th birthday, I had a friend of mine brew up a big batch of beer, and I made up labels with him and my picture on it, and it was very cool to see those in my fridge for a while.
Yeah, I bet for sure.
Even if it was just homemade, homebrew or whatever, it was still kind of just awesome.
That is awesome
to see that. So. I've given you a hard time, but I'm really jealous if like a beer company puts your face on beer.
That's all we got. LHRL number 97 is in the books.
Bye-bye.
Bye.